Hey guys, today I'm gonna be working on number 1493, which is longest subarray of ones after deleting one element. So let's read the description. Given a binary array nums, you should delete one element from it, return the size of the longest non-empty subarray containing only ones in the resulting array, return 0 if there is no such subarray. So let's check here example 1. We're having the following array, which is 1101, and they tell you the output is 3, and in the explanation they show you after deleting the number in position 2, which is 0, then you would have an array containing 3 elements and with a length of 3 basically. In example 2, they show you after deleting the 0 at position 4, you would have 5 ones in an array, and it would be the longest subarray with value of ones. And in example 3, we don't have any zeros, so you just need to delete one element and you would have output 2. Now they also tell you nums I is either 0 or 1. So again, if we're checking this problem, they're basically saying that we only have 0 and 1s in the array, and we need to remove 1 0 to give us the longest subarrays containing ones. So checking these examples, we can first check that here we have this base case. If we only have ones in the array and we delete one, then we return the result, which would be the length of the whole array minus 1. So for example, in this case, we're having length of 3 minus 1, it's 2. But this only happens in the case where there is no zeros. So this can be also one base case. For example, we can write here in the code, if 0 not in nums, then just return length of nums minus 1. As we can see here, we just need to delete, as they say, you should delete one element from it. So here we don't have 0, but we still need to delete one element, so we just return the length of it minus 1. Now, to solve this number, we need to use the sliding window technique, which means that we need to be having a window. And for example, we have here, let's take this example. We would be having a window, we would be going from left to right, just looping normally. And then whenever we see that in the window now we have, let's say this window, we're having 2 zeros, then we need to remove the left 0, and we need to counter left to be here, and then we continue until here. We realize, okay, we have 1 0, this is going to be our answer. Then we come here, we have 2 zeros. So when we have 2 zeros, it's not a correct subarray anymore. We remove from the left and we keep going until the end, but we already have gotten our answer. So this is basically a sliding window technique, which we can see now here in the code. We will explain it more further also. We can see here, first we just need to loop. So for right in range length of nums. Now here I check if nums of right is equal to 0, then I just want to count the zeros, so I can just create a variable here, count underscore zeros plus equal to 1. Of course, I need to initialize it here. So count underscore zeros equal to 0. And then since I said this is going to be a sliding window, which means we're going to be having a left and a right, we initialize left, and we also initialize our result here. Now we enter here, as I said, whenever we see a 0, we just increment count underscore 0. So here we have 1 0, this would be 1. Then when you reach here in this window, we have 2 zeros. So what do we need to do? Because now this window is invalid. What we need to do is we need to write a condition here. If count underscore zeros is greater than 1, then just remove from the left, and this is here is equal to 0. We just first decrement this, so it doesn't enter in the loop again. And also we increment from the left. And then in the end, we just get the result, which would be max result right minus left. And now here we would return result. So basically we can run this now to check. And we can see the cases are working. So basically what's happening here, as I said, we're creating a window here and we are looping. So we come here, let's say if nums right equal to 0, count underscore zeros plus equal to 1. So first when we reach this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, at position 4, then count underscore zeros is equal to 2. And since at position 4 count underscore zeros is 2, it would enter this loop, it would enter this condition here. And then inside this condition, we are having if this is 0, then we decrement this, then count underscore zeros is equal to 1, and left is equal to 1. Now, if we continue here, now we have left is here, and count underscore zeros is back to being only 1, which would be this. Then we continue looping, we reach here. Now when we are here, we're having this at 1, and right, we're having it at position at index 6. So now we have the maximum, which would be 5 in this case. Now when we come here, this is invalid because we have 2 zeros. So now it enters this if condition again. It checks if nums underscore left, if nums left is equal to 0. It's not, but it just increments left plus 1. So now left is here, and we continue until here, but we already know that this whole thing is going to be invalid regardless because we are having 2 zeros. And that's it. This is basically the question. We can also check this number here. If we check this number here, we're having, again, we check if nums right equal to 0, which should be this one. We increment count underscore zeros, but it would never enter here. And then it would just take, okay, left is 0, right is would be at 3, so 3 minus 0 would give us 3. And that's it. This is basically a sliding window technique here, where you create your own window inside the array, and you need to make sure that you are removing from the left when the window is invalid. In our case, we don't mind if we have 1 0 inside the window, but when we have more than 1, we know that the window is already invalid, and that's when we start removing from the left. And if the number is 0, we decrement the count underscore zeros. And of course, to return the result, we need to get the length as they did here. And to get the length, we just use the left point that would be here, for example, and the right one here, and we just do a minus and we would get the result. And that's it, guys. This solution would be O of n, time complexity. And that's it for this number. It's basically a sliding window number, which we have done which we have done a lot in this channel so far. And as I said, as a summary, we have here first the base case. If there is no 0, just return the length minus 1, which would be this. Then in the sliding window, the idea is to create a window in the array. So we go like this, and then, okay, we have 2 zeros, that's invalid. Then we remove this 0, and we come from here, we keep going. This is valid, this would be our answer. But of course, we keep continuing. Now here it's 0, this is invalid, and so on. And that's it, guys. I hope you understood this solution. And let me know if you have any questions in the comment, and I can try to explain it further and help you in your questions. And see you in the next video.